Welcome back everybody, and today I'm back with the Ninja Swirl, which is the latest and greatest of the Ninja Creamy line, and this one comes with a soft serve option. In today's video, we're going to go back to the beginning and start with the unboxing and go through several rounds to see how this thing works. I should point out, if you want to see the Ninja Swirl in a real world situation, I did try it in my freaking 2 channel to make Rice Krispie Treats ice cream, so I'll leave a link below if you want to check that out. So let's flash back to the unboxing and then get started. This is the Ninja Swirl. I paid $349 for this direct from the Ninja website. Now there is an Amazon listing for this. It's currently listed as a #1 new release, but not a lot of reviews for it yet. So let's crack it open and see what's inside. Instructions, always good. Move this on the floor. Get this out of here easier. This is your drip tray. I'm assuming that's accessories. Here it is. Now the claims from Ninja are that you can turn almost anything in ice cream or soft serve. 13 one-touch programs. 2 16-pint containers, where are those at? They say it includes 6 new swirl programs over the original Creamy. You can create low-calorie, high-protein treats with Creamy Fit. The soft serve handle, which I assume this is this right here, makes swirling cones fun. 800 watts and it weighs just over 20 pounds. There really aren't that many reviews yet for this. It's that new. The only real complaint I've seen so far, the containers are kind of small and it's kind of loud. Those were kind of the complaints with the Ninja Creamy in the first place, so I'm kind of used to that. So I'm going to go through this library of instructions, clean this all off, and then get started. Before we get started, let's take a closer look. Here's the control panel. We have scoop or soft serve. Several different functions. You have ice cream, frozen yogurt, fruit whip, frozen custard, Creamy Fit, light ice cream, milkshake, sorbet, gelato. Down here we have retract, mix in, and respin. Down here is where all the magic happens. We have the outer bowl. We push this button here to unlock it. Slides right out. This outer lid needs its blade installed in it. All we have to do is just press this lever. It opens that up and we stick it in here. Ready to go. Line up those 2 lines. Here is the handle for dispensing your soft serve. And on this side is where the container goes for dispensing soft serve. The process is pretty simple. All you have to do is freeze your ingredients 24 hours ahead of time. If you want ice cream, you stick it in there in the ice cream mode and you're pretty much done. If you want soft serve, you put it in the soft serve mode, run it through there, and then put it on this side. Basically, this side right here is a Ninja Creamy with a soft serve handle. Over here on this side is just an addition to it that dispenses soft serve. That's the way I kind of see it. There really isn't a big difference between this and the Ninja Creamy that I can tell. Now I prepared a couple of recipes ahead of time, so let's flash back to that yesterday and then we'll get started. Let's go with their basic vanilla ice cream recipe here now, shall we? First up, microwave for 10 seconds, 1 tablespoon of Philadelphia cream cheese. Check. 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now whisk. 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of milk. I think the sugar is now dissolved. Next up, make sure that the pint base is closed. It's closed. Add the lid. Freeze this for 24 hours. While we're at it, let's go with our 1 ingredient frozen yogurt. Sounds easy enough. Step 1, make sure the pint base is closed. It's closed. Closed. Then they say pour regular yogurt up to the fill line, which is right there. Just pour some regular old vanilla yogurt in here. Adding the lid. This goes in the freezer for 24 hours. So tomorrow we have both of these to try out. See you tomorrow for day number 2. Now the very first recipe is the 1 ingredient frozen yogurt. We're going to do that one first. It is out of the freezer. It is nice and frozen. Placing the frozen yogurt in the outer bowl. We are locked and loaded. Let's put it in there. Now it just slides in here and you twist around here. Now up here, I have to choose between soft serve and scoop. According to the instructions, I want to select soft serve. Some functions are available for both. Some functions are just available for either soft serve or scoop. So we're going to go with frozen yogurt. Oh, there it goes. Already started. That's kind of loud, but let's see what we've got now. Press the button. Now they say if it's crumbly that you should put it on respin. That's kind of like maybe a little bit crumbly, but not completely crumbly. I'm gonna say that's crumbly enough for a respin, because they say if it's crumbly, you're supposed to respin it. I'm gonna respin it. Placing it back in there, give it a twist. Respinning, 1 minute. All right, this should be it. Oh, that looks much creamier, much creamier. So now I think we're ready to move on to the soft serve step, which I'm really excited about. Remove pint from the outer bowl. Check. Locate the dispense lid right here and twist onto the pint. Install the pint by aligning the blue tabs. There's one here, there's one up here. Now I turn this to open up the bottom of the pint. Pull out the drip tray. Now all I'm supposed to do is pull this handle, I guess. They say it'll take 10 seconds for it to start coming out of here. All right, that's doing something. Oh, we have soft serve. We have soft serve. Oh, it's coming out fast. Whoa, we have soft serve. Oh man, I wanted that perfect peak and I missed it. I blew it. But it does look quite nice. What do you guys think? I might have to work on my dispensing game a little bit here. It's also awkward from doing it from behind, so to speak. But let's give it a taste and see how it turned out. Well, I would say that the texture is absolutely perfect. The dispensing was a little bit fast, but I think I'll probably have to work on that. And like they said, it took about 10 seconds for it to start dispensing, and once it did, it came out perfectly. The texture is as good as you could get. Let me try to dispense some in a bowl here. Let's see how this goes. There's my bowl of frozen yogurt. The texture is absolutely perfect. It came out great, so my first test I'm happy with. We got a long way to go though. Now they say if there's still some in here, you have to hit the retract button. Oh, the retract button is blinking. It must know I need to retract it. It is retracting. There it goes. There it goes. Press up here to release. And I can save this for another day. All right, well, the first round went pretty well. Let's keep going. Yesterday I prepared my vanilla ice cream with chocolate chips. Let's do that next. It's been in the freezer for 24 hours. Nice and frozen. Placing the pint in the outer bowl. Now for this one, we're gonna select scoop and ice cream. 2 minutes. Kind of rattling around there. It's rattling. There was moments where it really didn't sound that great, but let's check it out. And definitely crumbly. Definitely respin this one. Respin. 1 minute. All right. I mean, I was still a little bit crumbly, but we have to add our mix-ins anyway, so let's go with this. Now they say with a spoon to create a hole in the center where I can dump our chocolate chips. It's still pretty crumbly. It is still pretty crumbly. Hopefully that's not perfectly centered. Hopefully that doesn't really matter so much. A kind of an off-center hole there, but we're gonna go with it. 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. So we place it back into the outer bowl. Lock and load once more. Now we're gonna hit the mix-in button right here. And we'll see what happens. All right, I'm really curious about this. The reason I mentioned this is because it was still a little crumbly when I put it in there, but the instructions say the respin isn't really recommended when you have mix-ins. So if it's still crumbly, I'm kind of stuck with it. And it's still a little bit crumbly. All right, so let's take a taste of this, see what we got here. The chocolate chips are mixed in there pretty well. Looks like the chocolate chips are kind of dispersed throughout. Let's take a bite. First ice cream test. It's maybe a tiny bit crumbly. The flavor is good. The texture is actually pretty good too. I don't really mind it being kind of on the cold side. It's not overly creamy, but it's still definitely ice cream. I did a different ice cream maker last year that supposedly did soft serve. Everything on there turned out like whipped cream. This is ice cream, not whipped cream. It tastes like ice cream to me. I'm not sure I love the chocolate chips in there because the texture-wise, but I will say that this recipe came out perfect and the swirl did exactly what it was supposed to, although the creamy could have done this. What I just did was easily achievable with the creamy I did 3 years ago. So definitely good, definitely worked, but not revolutionary. Now this next feature is kind of interesting to me. Say you're kind of lazy, you don't really want to go through a whole recipe, but you want to have some soft serve. They have a feature where you can just put store-bought ice cream in there and make soft serve out of that. So let's try that next. They even have a recipe for it in the recipe guide. Step 1, make sure the pint base is closed, which it is now. Now it's closed. Add store-bought ice cream to the max fill line. We got some Breyers right here. Now I'm gonna have some pockets in there because this is kind of solid ice cream. I don't know if I should smash it in there or just kind of leave it. Now for this, all we're supposed to do is select re-spin, right there. That's all we're supposed to do. All right, that was pretty quick. It sounded almost violent at times. Surprisingly, there's nothing really in there to be violent about, but it was violent. I guess that really wasn't the max fill line now, was it? I mean, it kind of was, but I didn't smash it all in there. Let's give it a shot now. I'm sure it's enough for some soft serve on a cone though. Placing the container in the soft serve side. Giving it a twist, opening this up. Now they say this cone should be completely vertical whenever you're lining it up, and it is vertical. I got one of these little baby cones I had for a previous review, so I'm gonna try one of these. Here we go. I can see that paddle moving across there. It's gonna take a little while. And we should have it anytime now. Oh, there it is, there it is. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can never get that perfect peak they always show. I'm lacking. But you know, I did convert that ice cream into soft serve. Let's give it a taste. Here we go. Oh, that is soft. Oh, the texture's great. The texture's perfect. I'm gonna spin the rest of this into a bowl here. I guess that was it. That was it. Now the paddle is moving back to home. All right, as far as I can tell, the first round went pretty well. I'm gonna go back to the recipe guide and find some more things to make and see what we can come up with. One of the selling points of the Ninja Swirl by Creamy, which I'm not saying Ninja Swirl by Creamy, I'm saying Ninja Swirl. How can it be by Creamy when Creamy is by Ninja? I don't know. But one of the selling points is that you can turn ordinary items in your kitchen into a soft serve. In fact, they say it right here. It says transform ordinary items from your pantry or fridge into extraordinary frozen delights. And they have a whole chart here of things you can use, so I'm gonna pick two off of this chart and do that next. First on the list is Dole Pineapple. They have a fruit whip function, which sounds good. I can have kind of a Dole Whip right here in my own house. That sounds pretty good. So let's see what we got here. We've got some Dole Pineapple. Now this says fill to max fill line with fruit, covered fruit to max fill line with juice from can. Easy enough. I'm just gonna add our slices in there. That's to the max fill line. Now the rest, just fill up with juice. All right, just add the lid. This goes in the freezer. Tomorrow we'll make some Dole Whip out of this. Next up, they say we can use bottled chocolate milk to make light ice cream. All you have to do is fill it to the max fill line and stick it in the freezer. This should be easy enough. Can we turn ordinary chocolate milk into ice cream? Let's find out. So I'll come back in 24 hours and see how these turned out. All right, it's been 24 hours. These are both out of the freezer. Let's give it a shot. Let's start with the pineapple now. Nice and frozen. Inserting it into the outer bowl. Locked and loaded. All right, now according to the instructions, I'm supposed to select soft serve and then fruit whip. So we're gonna hit soft serve and then fruit whip. 6 minutes. It's gonna take 6 minutes. I'll come back in 6 minutes and let you know how it turned out. All right, 6 minutes are up. Let's take a look. Now, this one does not look crumbly. I think we're ready to go to the next step here. So this is the big question. Can you turn a can of pineapples into Dole Whip with this machine? Let's find out. I think we are all set. I think we're ready to go. All right, let's try out my mini cone here. They say it can take up to 10 seconds with this lever. Let's see. Give me my Dole Whip. Gimme. Oh, that wasn't even 10 seconds. Oh, it looks like it might be Dole Whip-y, Dole Whip-ish, Dole Whip-esque. I almost got my peak. Maybe by the end of this video, I'll actually get one with a peak on it. Let's give it a shot. Will this taste like a Dole Whip? We shall see. That's pretty close. That's pretty good. It's pretty good and pretty close to what I expect with a Dole Whip. From a can of pineapples, not bad at all. I remember my original creamy test doing a can of pineapples to make a frozen treat out of that, but it wasn't this. It wasn't soft serve. It wasn't like a Dole Whip. So I am pretty happy with that as far as this result goes. Good job on this one. Let's hit the retract button here. Let's see what's next. This was ordinary chocolate milk yesterday. It's been frozen overnight, and that's what we've got. Just looks like chocolate. Adding to the outer bowl. Adding the lid. I've noticed that adding the lid gets easier. The first time I kind of fumbled with it, but the more I do it, the easier it gets. Now it just goes right on. But let's stick it in here. Now for this one, I think I was going to do, we haven't done the light ice cream yet. Scoop and light ice cream. So that's what we're gonna do for this one. Scoop, light ice cream. And we're off. Now let's take a peek at what we got here. When my review's over, it's gonna be weird not using this from behind, because that's how I've been doing for this whole video. Oh, it doesn't look like it's crumbly either, so let's take a taste here. The instructions say to chill your bowls before putting your ice cream in there so it doesn't melt so fast, which is what I've done. All right, this is what we got. Looks pretty good. Let's give it a taste and see how it actually came out. Remembering this was chocolate milk yesterday. It tastes like light ice cream. For just dumping some chocolate milk in there and freezing it overnight, that's a pretty good frozen treat. So I'm kind of happy with that. I'm gonna eat my light ice cream and the rest of my Dole Whip, which actually I almost finished already. And then we'll move on to the next set of tests, because we're not done yet. It's time to set up 2 more ingredients for the next round. First up, I wanna try another Fruit Whip. The last one was from a can. I wanna try one with fresh ingredients. This chocolate banana Fruit Whip sounds delicious, right up my alley, so let's do that one. 3 ripe bananas, we gotta mash them. 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, half a cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're supposed to mix it all together. That looks pretty well mixed. Let's pour it into our container, then we're set. All right, so that's not quite to the max fill line, but that's their exact recipe, so we're gonna go with it. We have 1 more container to fill, so let's do that as well. Now I've not done the creamy fit option yet, so let's try that. They have their chocolate protein ice cream, and this is gonna use the creamy fit selection. 1 3/4 cup of chocolate milk. 1 scoop of protein powder. 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon of chocolate instant pudding mix. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now whisk it up. Let's pour this into the other pint here. Now that one went all the way to the max fill line. I have a little bit left over. We've got a lot of chocolate tomorrow. I've got my chocolate banana Fruit Whip and I've got my chocolate protein ice cream. I'll see you in 24 hours. We'll see how they turn out. All right, it's been 24 hours. The one I'm most curious about is the chocolate banana Fruit Whip, so let's try that first. It is nice and frozen. Frozen. Touching the lid, which seems to get faster every time I do it. That's a good thing. Selecting soft serve and Fruit Whip. I'll be back in 6 minutes. All right, our 6 minutes are up. Let's check it out. Very interesting. That's not what I expected, but that's what we got. It doesn't look crumbly, so I guess I can put this in the soft serve now. Very interesting. I think we are ready to go. So this should be interesting. Let's check it out. Maybe my bananas weren't big enough. This is kind of a small batch, but I think it's coming out. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it goes. There we go. Oh, that looks beautiful. That might be the best texture I've seen yet. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. That looks absolutely perfect. The texture is really nice, but all that's great. If it doesn't taste good, that doesn't matter. Let's give it a shot. The taste is good, but I will say one thing. This is supposed to be a Fruit Whip. It's more just like ice cream. It doesn't really have that whipped texture to it, but that complaint aside, it did turn out pretty nice. It's not a whip, it's ice cream. It's basically chocolate banana ice cream, which is good, but it's not a whip. One interesting postscript about the banana chocolate is after I retracted, look how much is left. There really wasn't that much in the begin with. It just kind of cleaned the sides off and pushed it down into one small section there. I'll definitely polish this off, but it really wasn't a lot in that recipe. But let's move on to my Creamy Fit recipe now, shall we? I was kind of wondering what makes the Creamy Fit program different from the regular ice cream one. They state that it is a unique program for high protein, low calorie, and low sugar mixtures, offering faster and longer program to whip air through ingredients at the touch of a button. The Creamy Fit can be either scoop or soft serve. Since I just did a soft serve, I'm gonna go scoop on this one. Loading the pint into the outer bowl. Now this recipe said to select scoop and then creamy fit. They say you can do soft serve, but I'm not doing that for this recipe. So scoop and creamy fit. Scoop, creamy fit right in the center. 5 minutes. That one was actually a little bit almost on the violent side at times. It was kind of clanking around. I didn't really capture it on video, but it was clanking around. But let's see what we got. Oh, nice and creamy looking. It doesn't look crumbly, so I think this is ready to eat. Once again, we have a nice, interesting hole right down the center. Put some of this in a chilled bowl here. Oh, it's pretty soft. You could do the soft serve option, but I did not for this one. It does look nice. What do you guys think? Did it turn out pretty good? Looks like there's some darker patches in here. It looks good though, considering the ingredients. Keeping in mind this has chocolate milk, protein powder, cocoa powder, instant pudding mix, and vanilla extract. That's an interesting combination. Let's see how it tastes. Down the hatch. Oh wow, that came out really nice. That came out really good. I can taste the protein powder in there. It's not in a bad way, but I do taste it. It's kind of prominent. Kind of taste the pudding as well. When I was looking over the recipe for it, the final result is pretty much what I expected, so I'm pretty happy with this. So I wasn't really sure what to expect from the Creamy Fit program, but now I know. It does seem very light. It does seem kind of airy, so I'm happy with this one. And the recipe itself was pretty good too, and easy to prepare, so I think this one was a winner. So in the end, I think the Ninja Swirl does exactly what it's supposed to do. To me, they should just call it the Ninja Swirly, but that's a topic for another day. Now, if the soft serve option isn't really a big priority, I would just stick with the Creamy or the Creamy Deluxe. Those are smaller, less expensive, and does pretty much the same thing outside of the soft serve option. And the Creamy Deluxe has 24-ounce containers. If, however, soft serve is a priority to you, you can't go wrong with a Ninja Swirl. I only have a few complaints. One of them is that it's loud, but the other Creamy models are loud too. It's pretty large and pretty expensive, and there's a lot of steps to it, but once you get used to the steps, it's not really that big of a deal. But I do think that anyone who buys this product will like it. But if you've tried this product, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.